Okay, if you're working in system administration, especially, prepping for something high stakes like the RHCSA exam, you probably know this feeling, this specific terrible feeling. You're staring at the clock, you need to configure network access, maybe a static IP. You think you know the nmtui command, but your fingers just kind of freeze over the keyboard.
Oh, yeah, that hesitation, it's fear, isn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, it's justified. Look, nmtui is fantastic. It's powerful. It's scriptable. It's the command line way. But man, is it unforgiving, especially under pressure. You miss one hyphen, add an extra space, mess up the subnet mask.
And suddenly 5 minutes are gone, just like that. Poof.
Exactly. 5 minutes of frantic troubleshooting, checking man pages maybe, and your focus. Completely shot for the next task.
Yeah, it really derails you. It almost feels like the exam isn't just testing do you know networking, but more like, can you type this perfectly convoluted command while sweating?
That's a good way to put it. It tests recall and accuracy under duress.
So what's the alternative? Besides, just memorizing hundreds of command variations and hoping for the best, is there a better way to handle this headache?
There absolutely is, and that's what we're going to dive into today. We're providing, let's call it a strategic defense against that very stress. Our mission, really, is to explore nmtui. That's the Network Manager Text User Interface.
nmtui, okay.
Think of it as your operational cheat code. It's this visual shortcut right there in your terminal that guarantees accuracy and saves your most precious resource on exam day.
Which is?
Your mental energy, your focus.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Before we dive into nmtui itself, maybe we should quickly define some core terms just to make sure everyone's on the same page. We mentioned RHCSA.
Right, that's the Red Hat Certified System Administrator exam, performance-based, timed, the whole 9 yards.
And then it runs on RHEL.
Red Hat Enterprise Linux, yeah. The operating system environment.
And the background service managing all the connections.
That's Network Manager. It's the daemon doing the actual work behind the scenes, whether you use nmflyly or our focus today, the TUI.
TUI, Text User Interface. So visual, but still in the terminal.
Exactly. Menu-driven, easy to navigate, but no graphical desktop required. Perfect for server environments or exam consoles.
Okay, let's really unpack this strategic advantage you mentioned. It feels a bit counterintuitive, right? If I'm supposed to be a command line ninja for the RHCSA, why would I deliberately use a menu thingy when the pressure's on? Isn't that kind of dodging the skill?
That's a fair point, a really fair challenge. But it's not about avoiding skill. It's about efficiency and guaranteed accuracy. See, when you use nmtui, the interface itself guides you. It literally shows you the fields you need. Put the IP address here, put the gateway here, DNS servers go here.
Ah, okay, so it structures the input.
Precisely. It forces you to provide the necessary information in the right places. You basically can't make a syntax error like you can with a long nmfly command string. Your configuration profile ends up being, well, syntactically correct every time.
Okay, that is a huge deal. I mean, setting a static IP with nmfly involves getting 4 or 5 parameters perfectly right in one line?
At least, yeah. IP address, prefix length or net mask, gateway, maybe DNS.
So nmfly demands perfection while nmfly demands perfection, while nmfly guides you towards it.
Exactly. And that leads directly to the deeper point, conserving mental energy. Just think about it. That exam is long.
Yeah.
It's tough. You have a limited amount of focus, of cognitive bandwidth.
Sure.
If you can take a task like setting a static IP, which, let's be honest, can be a 5-minute stress fest if you fumble the nmfly command and turn it into a simple fill-in-the-blanks exercise that takes maybe 60 seconds.
You've just bought yourself 4 minutes and avoided a spike in cortisol.
You got it. That's a massive strategic win. You're banking that time and, more importantly, that mental energy for the really complex problems later on.
Wait a minute, though. Are you saying I should always default to nmtui for these standard tasks, even if I feel pretty confident with the nmfly command? What about keeping that command line muscle memory sharp?
It's about triage, right? Think like an ER doc. What needs immediate guaranteed success with minimal resource expenditure? For securing basic networking points quickly and reliably on an exam, M of nmtui is the tool. Use the fastest, most error-proof method for the predictable stuff.
And save the brain power.
For the unique, tricky objectives, the firewall rules, the storage configurations, the things that require deeper CLI knowledge and critical thinking, things a simple TUI just can't handle. That's not just being lazy, that's smart system administration strategy.
Okay, that clicks. It's not a shortcut, it's resource allocation. I'm sold. Let's get practical. How do I even start this thing? And what's it like to use?
Super simple. Just type nmtui in your terminal. But crucially, remember, you're changing system network settings.
Ah, so need root privileges.
Yep. So it's actually sudo nmtui. Don't forget the sudo.
Right, sudo nmtui.
Yeah.
And then this blue and gray screen pops up. How do I move around without a mouse?
No mouse needed. It's very keyboard-centric. Think old school BIOS setup, maybe. Primarily, you're going to use the arrow keys up and down to navigate lists.
Okay, arrows. Simple enough.
And the other hero key is tab.
Ah, good old tab.
Yep. Tab moves you between all the interactive bits, the different menu options, input fields, lists, and those all-important buttons at the bottom like OK or Edit or Cancel.
So arrows to select, tab to move between elements.
And Enter to confirm your selection or activate a button. That's basically it.
So after all this intense Linux prep, I'm basically back to using tab and enter like I'm playing Doom's setup menu. That's actually kind of funny.
It is. And that simplicity is the whole point, especially under pressure.
Yeah.
When you launch it, that main menu is crystal clear. Just three main options.
Oh, what are they?
1, edit a connection. That's for your IPs, gateways, DNS, all that stuff. 2, activate a connection. We'll come back to why that's separate and important. And 3, set system host name. Super quick way to change the machine's name.
Okay. Edit, activate, set host name. That covers, well, probably most basic network config needs on an exam, right?
Easily 90% of them, yeah. It's focused on the essentials.
All right, let's walk through the big one. Task 1, setting a static IP address. Where do I start?
Okay, from the main menu, you arrow down to edit a connection and hit enter. You'll see a list of your network interfaces, probably something cryptic looking like an NP1 as 0 or ETH.
Okay, the device name.
You pick the one you need to configure, use the tab key to move over to the edit button.
And hit enter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you're in the settings for that specific connection profile.
And the absolute first, most critical change I need to make here for a static IP is?
Find the line that says IPv4 configuration. By default, it'll probably say automatic DHCP.
Mm-hmm.
You need to arrow over to that, hit enter, and change it to manual.
Okay. Changing from automatic DHCP to manual, that tells Network Manager, okay, I'm driving now.
Pretty much. And as soon as you select manual, you'll notice something appears right next to it.
What's that?
A show button. You need to tab over to that show button and hit enter.
And that reveals the fields I need.
Yep. That expands the section, and now you'll see input boxes for the IP address, the gateway, and DNS servers. You just fill those in based on the requirements you were given.
Okay, makes sense. Now, you mentioned syntax errors are impossible, but there's still room to mess up the values, right? And there was one specific detail you highlighted earlier, something easy to forget, but absolutely critical.
Ah, yes. The bane of many exam attempts.
Yeah.
It's when you enter the IP address itself.
What about it?
You absolutely, positively must include the CIDR prefix.
The slash notation, like 24?
Exactly that. So if your IP is 192.168.1.1.14, you can't just type that. You have to enter 192.168.5024 or 8 or 16 or whatever the requirement is, usually 24 in lab environments.
And if I forget that 24?
The configuration simply won't work correctly. Network Manager won't understand the scope of the network. It won't know the net mask, basically.
Right. So the IP address is like the house number, and the CIDR prefix is like the zip code, defining the neighborhood.
That's a decent analogy, yeah. It defines the network boundaries. Without it, the system doesn't know who's local and who needs to go via the gateway. It's fundamental, so don't forget the CIDR.
Okay, message received, add the CIDR. So I've put in my IP with CIDR, my gateway, my DNS servers. Now I just tab down to OK.
Tab all the way down to OK and hit enter. That saves the changes to the configuration file for that connection.
The configuration file. Okay. But you hinted earlier that saving isn't the same as applying.
Ah, yes. You're paying attention. This trips up so many people. Hitting OK saves the settings persistently, like to disk.
Yeah.
If you rebooted, they'd be used.
But I don't have time to reboot in an exam.
Exactly. And if you immediately tried to say ping using that new static IP right after hitting OK, it would probably fail.
Why? Why separation?
Because Network Manager is a running service, a live process. Saving the file doesn't automatically tell the running service to ditch its current settings and reload from the file you just changed.
Okay, that makes sense. So we need a way to poke the running Network Manager service and say, hey, use the new settings without rebooting.
Precisely. And that brings us neatly to task 2, using the Activate a Connection menu.
Right, the second option from the main nmtui screen.
You go back to the main menu or hit back from the edit screen, select Activate a Connection, hit enter. You'll see your list of connection profiles again. Notice anything different here?
Maybe an asterisk?
Bingo. The currently active connection profile will have an asterisk next to its name. That's your visual cue for what's live right now.
Okay, so I see my profile. Let's say NMP1 is 0, probably with an asterisk because it was using DHCP before. What's the magic sequence now to load my static IP settings?
It's a little two-step dance. First, make sure your connection profile, the one you just edited, is highlighted. Press Enter.
Okay. What does that do?
That deactivates it. The asterisk will disappear. Network Manager basically lets go of managing that interface for a moment.
Okay. Step 1, deactivate.
Step 2, with the same profile still highlighted, press Enter again.
To reactivate it.
Exactly. This tells Network Manager, okay, manage this interface again, and when it does that, it reads the configuration file you saved earlier, the one with your static IP settings.
And now the asterisk reappears, and my static IP is live.
That's the process. Deactivate, then reactivate. It forces Network Manager to apply the saved changes immediately, without a reboot. Quick, clean, effective.
That is a really neat, non-disruptive workflow. Deactivate, reactivate. Got it. Okay, that covers the most complex part. What about task 3, setting the host name? You said that was fast.
Oh, it's incredibly fast. Way faster than hunting down Echo's name and editing it manually.
How does it work in M2V?
From the main menu, just select Set System Host Name, hit Enter.
And then?
You get a simple little input box. That's it. Type the new host name you need, server1.example.com or whatever. Tab to OK, hit Enter.
That's it. It's done. Applied. Persistent.
Done, applied, and persistent across reboots, instantly. It's honestly beautiful in its simplicity. For any task that requires setting the host name, LM2V is just superior in terms of speed and ease.
Wow. Okay. So, connecting this back to the bigger picture then, we have this TUI, nmtui, which is great for these interactive tasks, and we have the powerful CLI, nmtui. They seem to do some of the same things. So what's the rule? When do I pick which one? Are they rivals?
Definitely not rivals. Think of them as companions, different tools for different jobs. A skilled admin knows when to use which. The rule of thumb is pretty simple. Use nmtui for interactive, one-off configuration tasks.
Like sitting at the console during an exam.
Exactly. Setting a static IP, changing the host name quickly and reliably under pressure. nmtui is your go-to. It's faster for you, the human, and safer in that context.
Okay, so nmtui is still the undisputed king of automation and scripting.
Ah, right. You can't exactly pipe commands into a TUI menu in a script. Not effectively, no. If you need to configure networking as part of an automated server build, or manage hundreds of connections, or access really advanced network manager features, you absolutely need nmtui. It offers far more granularity and control. The TUI only exposes the most common options.
So they complement each other. nmtui for the console quick fixes, and nmtui for scripting and deep dives.
You've got it. Master both, but use nmtui strategically to save yourself time and stress when you're hands-on.
Right. So wrapping this up, what's the big takeaway? We started with that awful feeling of CLI pressure during an exam, and it sounds like nmtui isn't cheating. It's actually a smarter way to work in that specific scenario.
That's the core message. By using nmtui for those fundamental task static IPs, host names, you basically eliminate a whole class of common frustrating errors. You guarantee success for those points, you do it faster, and crucially, you keep your head clearer for the real challenges the exam throws at you.
So the final piece of advice, based on the source material, is pretty clear then.
Yeah, absolutely. Make nmtui part of your practice routine. Don't just learn in nmtui. Actually use nmtui regularly when you're practicing network config. Build that muscle memory, that visual familiarity, so when you see that networking task pop up on exam day, reaching for pseudo nmtui is just automatic, confident, second nature.
Right. Get comfortable with it before the pressure is on.
Exactly. And that confidence, that efficiency, leads us to the final thought we want to leave you with. Since nmtui handles those basic networking tasks so quickly and reliably, freeing up your time and mental energy, what more complex, more challenging system administration problems will you now have the bandwidth to tackle effectively?
Something to think about. Use the best tool for the job, save your energy for where it really counts. Makes sense.
Focus on the hard stuff, not the syntax.
Excellent. Well, that's our deep dive for today. We'll catch you on the next one.